Yo, what is good, guys? This is episode 5 of the Patreon sample pack series. And by request, this episode is going to be about making groovy hip-hop style drums, kind of in the style of Charles I or Chill Smith, or maybe even kind of in the realm of Chasing the Golden Hour by Grizz. I have an album called Ease Your Mind Part 1 that has a lot of music in this style, so I'm going to kind of base this video off of my approach to writing drums for that album. So yeah, let's just dive right in. As usual, I kind of like to start simple and then expand from there. So like any beat, we're going to need a kick, a snare, and some hats. You're going to probably want to find low-end thumpy kicks, stuff from drum machines, or like older kind of grittier sounding drums, not like super processed and loud like dubstep kicks. You're gonna want like low thumpy hip hop stuff. Some good places for that are like Decap Drums. I know he has a lot of really good ones. Let's do Decap Kick. Really like a lot of his. J Dilla stuff is gonna be really good, especially for that old school vibe. In this case, I'm going to try to use, I'm going to use pretty much all my own samples unless we manipulate them, because I want to give you guys this project file. So yeah, for kicks, we're going to want to find something nice and low and thumpy. So let's see what I've made. See if we could find something. There we go. That one's sick. So nice and low and thumpy, not too much high end. Let's look at it on an EQ. Yeah, it's not really any high end on it, but I like that. It sounds nice. Okay, and then for snares, it's going to be kind of the same thing. You want hip hop style snares. Maybe not always the highest quality ones. Try to find ones that have a little bit more grit, a little bit more of like a vintage vibe to them. Again, Decap, J Dilla are going to be great for those. Kill Smith has really nice snares for that kind of music as well. Again, I'm going to use my own samples just so I could give you guys the project file. The snare. Something like that could work. Something really tight, kind of trappy sounding. Probably get rid of some of the high end on this. Nice. Okay, cool. So now we want to just find a good kick and snare pattern. This is going to be the meat and bones of our beat. So we really want this to be good. We know there's probably going to be a snare on every 3. Let's also change the BPM of this to like 155. These hip hop style beats tend to work better in like the 160 range. If you cut that in half, that's like 80 BPM, like 80 to 90 BPM is pretty common for this style of music. Really like 155, so we're going to go with that. And just listen, and whatever comes to your mind, try to place it in there. There's no secret to this. This is just kind of trial and error, trying things, and going with what feels right. So could probably be a little faster. Let's go to 162. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, something like that. So trick here is going to be a lot of offbeat kicks, kind of filling in between. Think. There we go. And then taking some of these and putting them off grid. So holding command, kind of clicking and dragging. And just offsetting that one kick makes a huge difference. What we want here is a nice groove, a nice flow. This style of music really is very dependent on a good groove, a good humanized type of flow. So we're going to make sure we do that by making things off grid. And then, like pretty much everything in music, we want to try to have call and response going on. So I like to try to have like a kick pattern that kind of talks to itself. So need to put more kicks in. There we go. That's pretty sick. There, I like that. Let's stick with that. And I think for now we could just have a snare on every three. Keep it nice and simple. Don't be afraid to even delay your snare a little bit. So let's open up this delay channel over here and just make the snare hit like three milliseconds late. Just give it a little bit more kind of drag, I guess you could call it. So now we're gonna want to find some type of hi-hat and draw in like a basic hi-hat pattern. And then once we have that, I'll start showing you all the secret sauce and how to get like, how to make it a lot more interesting. But like I said, I like to start basic and then expand from there. So let's just find a nice hat. Probably use the first part of this. Yeah. Something real simple. And then we're going to use this delay channel again, and we'll probably offset it maybe around like 10 to 15. Nice. Okay, so now we got a nice like bounce kind of swag going with our beat. Let's throw in some extra hi-hat hits to kind of spice it up so it's not super basic. I think maybe 2 here. Okay, I think that works. Let's duplicate that pattern. And then let's get an open hat or like a ride. Something like that. It's always really cool to do. Get rid of this one. Okay, cool. So now we got this basic beat going. Let's add a bunch of new elements to make it more interesting and add more depth. One of my first things I like to do and my favorite things to do is find some type of foley sample. So we'll take some that I've recorded. I like this paper bag one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make these kind of like sweeps into our snares, right? So it's gonna sound something like this. That sounds really bad right now. Let's cut out the low end. Process it more, put some OTT on it. Put on some stereo. And then we'll just kind of sweep through the sample using the Command Shift technique, or the Shift Alt technique. Ooh, there we go. And then I'm gonna have one go into each snare, but we're gonna change the location of the sample so that each sweep sounds different. Nice. So that sounds nice. And then the next kind of like secret sauce that I like to do is find some type of break. So let's find a bunch of break samples. I like to find like random sample packs on Reddit that have a bunch of different good breaks that people have sampled from different tracks. I'm trying to find mine. I think I have it in packs. This Vani's drum collection. This is a good one. See, like this is a great one. I'm looking for something that has cool percussion going on. And then we're going to take that drum loop and we're going to chop it up and manipulate the sample a bunch to make it fit into our beat, to add some depth, add some more rhythm, and just make it more interesting. So that's too fast. Let's double time it. Yeah, there we go. Some shit like that. Cut out the low end. Some harsh high end right there. And see, like this is also a cool layer for our snare now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take certain parts, take the parts that we like, and we want to chop it up a little bit too, make it a little bit more unique. So let's take this like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. Let's try pitching the sample around, see if we can make it sound better. Oh, whoops. I'm only manipulating that first one. Let's make sure we're highlighting all the samples here and then pitch it around. That's decent. We could try find another one. Sometimes I like to just type in perc loop and find something that piques your interest. Don't worry about the BPM. Honestly, it's kind of nicer to have one that's in the wrong BPM because then we can warp the sample and get some interesting kind of artifacts and different loops that no one else has used before. That could be cool. Let's double time it. Yeah. Look at that. That's dope. I like that. Okay, that's pretty sick. So a couple more tips I would do. I have to do again with the snare. So another cool thing to do is find alternating snare layers. So to have each of these snares have a different clap or like foley layer that hits on it. So then we kind of get this like call and response going even just with the snares. So first let's just find a clap. Something like that with a tail can work really good. And doing it on the second one could be sick. See, just adds some nice, it kind of keeps the idea progressing. It's really cool to take like a vocal hit, so let's find one of those.
One, yeah.
Yo.
You could take a yo and putting like a bunch of reverb on it, bunch of delay. Mainly the reverb. It's gonna do the magic here. So we can freeze that, flatten it. And do something like this. Make it nice and quiet and in the background. Nice. I do that all the time in my tracks. And just use any type of vocal sample. A lot of times it's cool to use like a tonal vocal sample. So let's find one of those, like vocal hit, maybe.
Hit him when the bass.
Yeah, something like that on the snare can sound really, really sick. Yeah. It's a pretty solid beat. So then the next thing we're going to want to do is just, now you can experiment and use effects and different samples to kind of keep adding depth to this entire thing. If you want some like glitchy style stuff, I would suggest doing this. So we'll take something like glitch and throw it on the entire drum group. And then we're going to make a separate audio channel, and the input will be from the drums. We'll arm it. And then I'm just going to record this while I mess around with glitch. And a lot of it might be really bad, but there will be a lot of cool little snippets that we can use to chop up and throw into our drum beat to add some cool glitchy effects. So let's do that. Oh, that's sick. Cool. There's a bunch of sick ones in there. There was one at the beginning that I really liked. Like that first Vox hit. Yeah, that. That's a sick layer. And then that is perfect for like, we could put that on the last snare or something. Real quick, if you don't have glitch, you could also use beat repeat in Ableton. This could help get the same kind of effect. Let's hear what it sounds like. Yeah, I don't really know how to use beat repeat, but you could get similar effects by using it. So here, let's drag some of these in. I want this hit right here at the end. Okay, cool. So that works good right there. Let's make another channel and bring this resampling sample back. And let's try to find some sweet spots. Like, where in this beat do we want some glitch? This is what you want to ask yourself right now. I think this section could use a glitch. That's cool. Okay, cool. So then once you have a cool drum beat with a lot of depth and a lot of cool glitchy stuff going on, you're going to want to go ahead and group process them. So we could just use my drum processing rack. I like the first one. We'll throw some glue on there and a little bit of drum bus. Tat's a little harsh. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, dope. Yeah, I hope that is helpful. I'll save this project and I'll attach it to this week's episode. Again, let me know in the comments if you guys have anything specific you want. We'll do one more listen through on this beat and then we'll end this episode. Dope, dope. All right, well, as usual, I hope that was helpful. Hope you guys learned something. Peace.